AR, is he going to save Indy? Cody, you're from Indianapolis. You're hearing all the noise. You're hearing all the hoop and holler. You and I, we watched him in Florida play. We have our thoughts and opinions about what happened at Florida. Love the guy. Want nothing but success for him. But to say we're not skeptics would be wrong on him having early success. Early success. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, so essentially the GM goes on McAfee and says, boy, AR is better than what we thought. He has put in the work over there at 6 points at Denny Thomas, and Denny has done a heck of a job with them, and he is above the caliber of thrower of what we thought. Now, there's two things. Yeah, as a GM, taking a guy that we have seen every game struggle, highs and lows, you're gonna say that because you just put your first round pick to him, and those guys need to play day one. That's like a 5-star in college. You expect those guys to play. And so essentially they're going to pump up as much AR stock that is possible. Now, am I saying that Denny Thomas didn't do a hell of a job with them? No, I'm not. Am I saying that he's not a better thrower than what he was the last game of Florida? No, I'm not. What I'm saying is they know that AR is the guy, and, quote, through the good and the bad, we're going to ride with them. That's from their GM. So take it with a grain of salt. I think that they're pumping up his stock. They had a bad team last year. They're going to have a bad team this year. And they want AR to be the next Luck. That's fine. But I think it's a little mini camp pump up.
Let me push back on this a little bit, right? You're saying they're pumping him up. What's the advantage? There's no need to sell Anthony anymore. Why would the GM come on there and pump him up?
Because if he looks bad, the GM could lose his job. Because the owner over there at the Colts is wild.
What, you want to downplay him?
No, for sales to sell that place out, you got to pump up AR.
Sure, you got to get hyped up for week one. You got to get everybody tuned in, thinking we're
They got to sell Lucas Oil out every single week, and AR is, and I hope he does. I hope he falls out week one. But after going to the Kentucky game, and I know that was months and months and months ago, and a guy can improve immensely. The speed of the game is so fast. I just don't know.
So look, I love what you said. So shout out to 6 Points and Denny Thompson, obviously the local company here in Jacksonville, Florida. I think massive for them to go on Pat McAfee and shout out their quarterback coach. I think that's huge for him, for his company, what he's able to do. I know Marcus Stokes practiced there with Denny Thompson, so good stuff for them. And they got a lot of quarterbacks going through his camp currently. So huge shout out there. Like you said, is he throwing the ball better than he was a couple months ago? Absolutely.
Probably.
Yeah, for sure. Does he look more comfortable? All these things are 100% yes. He has been fine-tuning it to the extreme, to the ultimate extreme. Before, he had school. He had all these things going on, a lot more distractions that he no longer has anymore. But the thing that I think we all keep circling back to, and this is something that I think takes a little bit longer than 6-7 months of training and practicing and going through, is the mindset, the mental part of it. The decision-making in the pocket, right? We've had Judd on the show. He talked multiple times about where Billy had said, this is Judd Davis saying this, hey, we gave the keys to Anthony. It was his call to run the ball, to throw the ball, etc. Whatever it may be, it was up to him. And sometimes he just kind of held the ball or hesitated on making a decision. Now, could there have been more to that we don't know about? Sure. Could it be the lack of production that he had on wide receivers? He'll never come out and say that. Neither will Billy. But I think we can all agree the talent there wasn't that great. I think for the fact that the one that was left was Hendo is now leaving. Now, you could point to other reasons of why Hendo's leaving, but there's no wide receivers left from that Mullen era except Jaquavion Frazier's anymore. And the rest of the guys that are coming in are all Billy's guys. And you got these guys that are freshmen that are threatening Hendo for a job that Billy recruited. So imagine what he was dealing with, right? We had Trey Dean and these guys that couldn't even do on safety. They couldn't even break 5 speed. They were 5.0. So how much of it was the guys catching the ball? We know his line was phenomenal. I think we all can agree with that. We know the running backs were phenomenal. all he had was essentially Ricky Pearsall. We know Dante was a solid tight end, but how much of that played a factor, I don't know. Look, I hope he goes in and absolutely murders it and smashes it. We've got a few clips here. Let me get that pulled up for you guys so you can kind of see him slinging the ball a little bit during practice. But yeah, here's a little clip from camp of AR slinging it around. But we'll see what happens with Anthony Richardson. I'm excited to see it. Obviously, it's going to be a ton of noise. We had a lot of noise, though, last year. We were extremely fired up last year when Anthony was practicing. We saw him in the spring game. The guy can throw a football better than most people that can throw a football. It's incredible. When the guy steps up and slings it, your heart just drops because you know it's about to be a 70-yard bomb for a touchdown. Those were never the concerns. It's the small plays. It's the kind of the night and day stuff. And the night and day stuff is, yeah, and those things add up. When you're all of a sudden you look down, like we would do a big play, we get caught right back up, but then we would go 3 or 4, possessions where we're just 3 and out. It's like, what the fuck just happened there? It's like, okay, we couldn't convert 3rd and 2 4 times in a row. Why? What? Wait, what? And then the next play, we come down and he throw a 40-yard bomb again. It's all right, we're back. So we would forget, but it was those small things, and that was why those other teams would always stay in it. And it's like we were just losing by 1 possession. It's like, yeah, we couldn't control the ball. We couldn't get 3rd and 2 done. Couldn't get 3rd and 4. We couldn't hit the small passes.
The offense is going to look a lot different. It's going to be like what they ran at Philadelphia due to the fact that their OC is the guy that took over the job. So you're going to get the quarterback sneak dive plays. You're going to get that. And listen, the quarterback at the Eagles the same way. He's not great with the little slant plays, with the outs, the stuff like
Jalen
that.
Hurts?
But what he does, yeah, Jalen Hurts, what he does have is a beautiful ball that the wide receivers can go out and run under and catch. And
he has a great wide receiver core in Philadelphia. Phenomenal wide receiver core. But Jalen Hurts, obviously, too. Here's another big thing. It's another big thing why I said he would end up going to the Colts. The guy that's at the Colts now, the head coach, was the coach over Jalen Hurts. Obviously, nurtured Jalen Hurts to being what he is. Super Bowl contender quarterback. Phenomenal quarterback. Jalen Hurts has really found himself. So that's another big thing that Anthony's going to have. So he leaves Florida, gets, Denny from 6 points for X amount of months, just grinding, only focus on him. This is probably Denny's biggest prospect he's had. I don't know, but I'm assuming, I'm guessing, right? But
yeah,
it's got to be his biggest
Denny on
one.
The show and talk about it.
Yeah, you got to believe that he was all in on Anthony more than any quarterback he's ever been on. So there's a lot there, and now they've got their new head coach who obviously was over Jalen. It's a match made in heaven. Billy's going to get flack for it forever if Anthony goes ahead and has success. I think there's a lot more, but I think he's in the best possible scenario, Anthony is, for him to be successful. And that excites me for him. Not as a Jaguars fan, but it excites me for him and for what it could be.
I would only say the place I would like to see him at, minus what their quarterback room has now, is San Fran, because I think their head coach is just the quarterback whisperer.
My second pick was Seattle. I would have liked him under Pete Carroll.
Oh, absolutely. Pete Carroll's the third. I think he'll be doing fine at the Colts, and we're going to see an offense that they're going to tailor around Anthony. And Billy Napier runs an offense more like what we talked about with the Garoppolo deal, where he's a system quarterback. And Billy Napier wants a system quarterback.
San Francisco-ish.
New England-ish. Yep. Kirby Smart at Georgia. He won 2 natties with the mailman, the doctor, I call him, because that's the only guy that goes to college for 7 years, and Stetson Bennett. But man, I tell you, I hope the best for him. I hope they get that O-line better, and we'll have to see. We will talk about this every week during the NFL.
It's going to be it's going to be a
AR
blast.
update.
He was the hot topic during college football, and it's just so fun to watch. He's so electric. From CJ and Bryce Stroud, you expect it, so there isn't a lot of hype there. Will Levis is going to have some hype just because of the whole draft day drama that went down.
Stetson throws one pass, and he goes viral for LA.
I don't think so.